Hi my crafties, it's Tree. How are you doing today? I hope you're having a good and crafty day. We are going to attempt a tutorial. Okay, Janiva of Purposely Crafting the Divine Intervention asked for a process video. So I guess maybe craft with me or tutorial on how to make my basic pop-up memory decks cards. So I will be doing that. She asked for it, and it is basic, so I can do it. So we're gonna just pop it. Well, I guess we don't really need this, so I don't know. All right, it's gonna go somewhere because it's in the way. Okay, so you're gonna need a scoring board and something to score with as it rolls away, and something to crease that down with. You're also going to need scissors. Now I use one for paper and I use one for adhesive sticky back things, so 2 of those. A couple of pairs of these reverse tweezers. You're gonna need some E6000 or some really super strong glue that can hold down metal. I also use like possibly some foam tape, regular adhesive. I like that Tacky, and then whatever cardstock you want, a couple of brads or possibly some magnets. So let's move all this stuff out of the way so we can see what we're doing. You're also going to need some 110-pound cardstock, and I'm talking a true 110-pound, not something that says 110-pound but feels like 65. So hard to find, I know. All right, so what I do and what I've done is, of my brother's scan and cut, I cut out my memory decks blank. So I have 1 110-pound and 2 110-pound, okay? So I label them front and front because the person who I got this from gave a free, which is really nice. I mean, it's a free blank for the MDC and it for SVG, but it's not exactly even. So if I turn it over, you can see down there, it's not even, and so that's why I put the F there. These are 4x4. I think this is a little bit taller, but I'm not positive. Let's see. If I put it in here, oh, they're not. It's not even 4. I can make this bigger. Ha! Guess what we're doing? When I'm done, we're going back to Canvas Workspace. I'm going to take advantage of every height that I can. I might even actually cut off the tab. I don't know. I kind of like the tab, but then I don't. So I also created a blank, and I used my scan and cut to print the information on the back. And then I always put washi tape on the back to cover my address. So you're going to have 2. And then I find my designer paper, and you're going to need a blank to cover that. Okay. You're also going to need a piece. I think I measured this to be, yes, 3 across this way and 5 down here, and you're going to score it at 2.5 and fold it in half. Something happened with my measurement. I'm a little off. It's not going to be the end of the world. Then you're going to need a decorative piece to go on the front. This is going to be on the outside because this is going to go here. And you're going to need a piece to go in the center. All right, so I think that's all the construction. And what we're gonna create is something that looks like this. And it opens up, and it has a basic pop-out 1 image. So really cute. And with the 110-pound, when it's stacked together, it's 220. This one I chose to use a magnet. And I don't know, my magnet didn't want to hold through 2 layers of 65 pounds, so I had to add a second magnet up there. So it's there. Normally I make these with the brads, so we're going to make this one with the brad. Oh, I need one more thing. Hold on. You're going to need a hole punch of some sort, and I have the crocodile. And I don't know where I'm going to put it because it's huge. Okay, I'll put it here. I'll put that over there. Okay, so let's get started. The first thing I do, obviously, is cut my bases. And I have 2 in 110-pound cardstock. And then I cut 1 in any pattern or something particularly not so busy. This time I decided there were so many challenges going on that I decided to just print these all on pink paper and be done with it. That way, whatever I put on the front or the inside will match no matter what because it's pink, right? All right, so we're going to take, this is Maggie Holmes Garden Party, and we're going to take the glue and that designer paper, we're going to glue it to the front, not the back. I've done that before. You really want to not go crazy with the glue. You don't want it oozing out all over the place. I know that the glue always says it dries clear or it dries matte or whatever. You still see it. So I am a little crazy with my glue. I know I've seen some of you just like put a couple little squirts on there and you're done, but not me. I have to shellac it. And you know I'm crazy with the foam tape, so sorry, traffic noise outside. I do live in a somewhat downtown area, and then what I do is I just get you guys all dizzy by pressing down and shaking and just adhering that down, okay? All right, so now we're going to work with this. Now this one has a little, so we're going to glue this to here. And this is going to be your pop-up inside. I've tried to do the memory decks card where it opens up in the center, but I don't know. If you have one of my older memory decks cards, tell me how it's working out for you. I don't think they were holding up too well, and you guys might need replacements. You're gonna let me know. All right, so I'm just going to line up the top and the bottom, the 2 sides. This one doesn't seem to be going all the way to the edge, and that's fine. It can have a border, and that could be where that overlap is coming from, and I don't care. So it's going to go like that. Now you can choose to make it go all the way up to the top, all the way to both sides, and not have this. I used to do it where it was the whole from up here to the 2 sides, and then I would just have a strip on the bottom. But I like seeing the multiple colors, so that's why that. All right, now this one I didn't cut. I just found a scrap, so you have options. You can take it to your trimmer. Holy cow, it is cut. Never mind. Don't worry about me. I have no idea what I'm doing. Are you sure you want to learn from me? Okay, so we're going to score this at 2.5. Now, I got to get up here and find 2.5. Okay, it is right there. All right, I am going to pause you again because I forgot paper trimmer. All right, I'm back. So you are also going to need a paper trimmer. Now, don't worry, I will have everything that you need listed in the description box below. And I put the edge over on the side here. Then I take my bone folder and I do that. Now this is just a hair too long, because what's going to happen is this will be in here. And if you've ever put anything in a crease before, it doesn't like that. So what I do is I take my trimmer and I put it in here. And I just get it a hair over and I slice that off. Hold on, my dog is into something he's not supposed to. All right, I'm back. And yes, that was the cat tattling on him. So that part didn't cut off, so I'm just going to turn that off. If you're like me, your cardstock will do things like this and drive you absolutely batty, and that is just because of the fibers within the paper. Okay, I don't think we're going to... I have no idea what the cat's problem is. It's the wrong time of day to be making a video. That's what she says. Literally. Hold on. All right, I'm back. All right, so now it's going to be just a little bit shorter so that that crease is going to show right there, that center, and that's going to prevent any buckling. Your paper will lay flatter, and you're just reducing some bulk in there, okay? So we're going to go ahead and glue those back down. If you have random pattern like this, not so much, but if you have a one-directional pattern like this, make sure your directions are going the right way, because trust me, I always end up putting this one on first, and then I go here and I put my top up here, and then I go, oh my gosh, it's backwards, and I have to peel it off and turn it around and make a mess. Yes. All right, back to gluing. Did I ever mention to you I have ADD? And my cat is screaming at me, and I do tend to want to find out what is going on with her. Oops, dropping things, but no worries, it doesn't go far. There's nowhere to go here. So we're just going to line it up to the top, and then the two left and right sides, and press it down, and then we're going to go to the next one. Oh, we'll see how that trimmer works. Well, it's not the trimmer's fault, it's the paper. I keep trying to tell myself that. So I just kind of get over there and bring it toward the raw edge, and then I come in with my scissors and I just glide it across. It's catching on something, probably the paper that I don't want. There's always going to be some on the back, but that's on the back, so we're not going to see it. And yes, I do cover as much of the paper as I can. This is something that I'm making, and for me it's about taking pride in my work and having it hopefully last for a while, and you know, not fall apart for the person who is receiving it. So again, we're going to line it up at the top and the left and the right, and we're going to leave this gap right here because that's going to fold up, and then it's going to be there like that. All right, so you need to find an image that will fit inside. We're going to need one more thing. We're going to need a ruler. Yes, I've tried to get my filming area over to where I actually craft kind of area, and it's not working. I can't get the lighting right, so there's always a dark shadow, you know, on one side of the moon, and we're getting nowhere. So we're back over here in the corner, and you need a little image. I chose this little teapot because it's so cute. Also, you want something that will contrast and stand out, that it's not going to blend in and get lost. So if I had something green, it's not going to show up so much. You really want something that's going to pop because it's a pop-up. Okay? Now, I already measured this, and it's very important unless you don't care. I care. So I measure the base where I know that it's going to stand. Now, I could measure the whole entire teapot, but my strip for the pop-up is going to show on these edges. So I only measure there, and it's about 1/2 inch. I also give myself some room. So I found that this is where 65-pound cardstock comes in very, very handy. You don't want to use the 110-pound. I thought about it because I thought, well, I want it to be sturdy and last forever, but that increases the bulk. Hold on one second. Remember when I said I didn't need the scoreboard again? We're gonna need it. Okay, so then you want to place your image anywhere along this score line. It doesn't really matter at this point, okay? And you're gonna get your ruler. It seems to have magnetized to my brads. All right, crazy me. And you're gonna measure from the top of your image to the top of the this. And I see I have about 1 1/4 inches right here, 1 1/4, but we don't want to go that far. We only want to go to maybe 1 or 3/4. And what that means is that's going to be how far it's going to come out. So if you do 1 1/4, it's going to come out here. If you do a 1/2 inch, it's only going to come out here. Now, maybe you want it to come all the way out, but you're going to see that tab. And for my memory dexes, I'm just using 65-pound white cardstock for that tab. There are other tutorials, and maybe that's another day, where you cut out the back and you make the little, it's coming out of this green paper, and you end up with a slit. Either way, you're going to see some white, unless you back that with the same color. But we're not going to confuse you, right? We're going to go with this. Also, depending on how much, if you want it to come all the way out here, that's perfectly fine. But when you do that, it's going to come out here. So if this is, if you went 2 inches and you put your teapot right there and you added 2 inches, see, it's going to be up here. You want to keep it in the parameter of your folder, your space, where it's going to live. So I usually stick with 1/2 inch, 3/4 inch, nothing much. So 1/2 inch is going to come out here, 3/4 inch will come out about here. And you have to decide how much of this white you want to see. Or maybe you could get yourself some green paper that will actually resemble this. That's up to you. I stick with basics, what I have, and then I work that way. So we're going to need a scoreboard. Moving on. Fast forward me through that part. I don't know where it ends. I'm going to come out. I'm going to just do a basic 3/4 inch, 3/4 inch, 3/4 inch. But if you only want it to come out 1/2 inch, then you do that. Okay? So I'm going to do 3/4 inch. And I don't like to count, so I put it there and then I mark it again. 3. Sorry, I'm trying to see amongst the glare and being far away. And I just make sure that that is kind of stuck in that groove. And I gotta move my thumb over here because I want it to go here. And you're creating a little box for it to work. Okay, so you'll see this is a box, but it needs something to hold it together, so we're gonna have to go a little bit further. And what I do there is I put it in, find my groove, and where normally I'd go 3/4 inch, we don't want that overhang, we don't want any bulk, so I'm going to go down 1/8 of an inch and mark that. Now I don't think I'm going to need this anymore, but we never know for sure apparently, so I'm going to just slide it underneath there, and then I'm going to take my scissors and I'm going to cut that mark away. So you could cut on the, oh, that's not going to blow. Okay, you could cut on the outside of the mark, you could cut in the center of the mark, or you could cut inside the mark. I'm going to cut it all the way, so not the center, but all the way to the outer, the inner. Okay, I didn't cut that right because I can't see. Okay, so the score line is still on this paper somewhere. Right there. Not that you can see it because it's white and whatever. All right, so this is the little skinny tab. This is the one that's 3/4 of an inch. This one's 1/8 of an inch shy, so 3, I don't know what that is. I'm not going to count. 5/8. I'm going to pick glue all over that, fold it down, fold this over, line it up, get rid of the extra glue, and I'm going to fold it that other direction. Make sure it's really stuck down. And straight. Okay, so now you have a little box, and that's what your pop-up is going to live on. And you can decide if you want it all the way on the side, in the center, off to the left, off to the right, anywhere in between. That is completely up to you, and depending on how you want to decorate it. Sometimes I just pop this thing in and say, there it is, but I just had an idea. All right, my dear friend Kathy sent me a bunch of these doilies, and I'm gonna just kind of chop this down. Let's see. I'm trying to find a center point. All right, so we don't really need a lot of this. So let's do about that. Looks good to me. All right, I don't want to put glue on the whole thing because that just make it messy. I'm just going to line this up to the edge of the green. I'm not going into that crease. I'm going to try to center it. It doesn't have to be. It's up to you how you want your design to be. Then I'm going to flip it over and trim that off, because every, you know, tea party, I'm on cardstock. There we go. Needs a little fancy doily, right? And the good thing about doilies are they are very thin. They aren't bulky in any way, shape, or form. Excuse me. I probably need some water. Did I ever say I have a hard time gluing and talking at the same time? Okay. Just line it up. Get that glue off your fingers, and it'll go like that. Okay, that'll be cute. And then I'll go like that. Perfect. Okay, now this is where I get a little fussy. Because I'm me. Because I'm me, where the tab that it is glued, I put that on the bottom, and I always put that seam toward the back. Does it make any difference? No, it doesn't. And you're going to put the glue on the bottom and the back. Okay? So it's, when you put it up here, it's going to go on the bottom and the back, not the front or the top. So glue, and again, you want to get all the way to the sides. You can use double back tape. You can use, whoopsie, sorry. I like my wet glue. It gives me an opportunity to move around. Okay, so I'm not going to be exact center, and you do want it all the way up again. Let me just put this on the right gluey side. Okay, do as I say, not as I do. All right, and up against the back, you're going to close it, you're going to open it really quick, and you're going to make sure, see, I got a gap right there. We don't want that. Just squash it down and in there. Make sure that that is completely pressed against that seam, and then give it a squash down, and it's set. That's when you take your cute little image that has run off and hidden There it is. You're all like screaming at me. It's right there under your roller. And I'm like, huh? Can't hear you. I'm all. And then your little thing's gonna go there. All right, so you don't, oh, okay. Now I took a sticker from the Maggie Holmes sticker book, I think. And no, oh no, hold on. Okay, it was a sticker book. Sorry, I needed to get some water. And it's gonna fit right there on that tab. So you're gonna put glue on the tab. On this front part, nothing on the top. I can't see where I put my glue. There we go, I got to turn it sideways. Whole new concept over here. All right, just place your image there and go ahead and give it a close, because sometimes it pops over the edge and you want to make sure, and then sometimes just like this, it lifts up and then you see that bottom. Did you just see a little fly by? I have some really annoying fruit flies that really like the smell of my glues, especially that E6000. Technically, you should be able to open this up and have it lay completely flat. I don't ever do that. I don't want to do that. So there we go. I like it at the 90 degree and it's on there. All right. So now we're going to glue this piece onto the front part of our memory decks. So we're going to put glue all over the back of this. You could add foam. That's up to you. I am working with a brad, and the brads tend to have short backs, and I want to make sure that that is going to stay completely in place and not fall out, pull out. So I'm going to make sure that this is flush. Okay, we're just going to put that down, try to get it as evenly spaced as possible. I think that it's a little there. All right, now the tricky part. We're going to add a brad, and you're going to need a hole puncher, and I like to use the little one, which I marked to be, no, it's not marked. It says on it somewhere. That's where. 1/8. Right? You probably can't see that. It says on the black, 1/8. This side says 3/16. So we want the 1/8, just because we don't want the brad to slip through. And what I do is I close this, because now remember, this one is not as tall as this one, and we're going to get as close to this lip as possible and center it as much as possible. So I don't know how much you can see, but I'm looking down into the hole. And you can see that I am just missed. Come on, focus. There we go. You can see that I've just missed this edge right here. All right, now we're going to take our brad. Sorry, this is such a long tutorial, but it has to be because of what it is, the nature of what it is. And I like the EK Success tweezers. I have both. And okay. You want to have a gap. You don't want it flush because you want this to be able to go underneath. Right? Now I might have gotten that too close. So I'm going to take my hole punch and I'm going to punch it again really quick. Oh. Just a little bit higher. Up. So I just made it a little bit taller. I want to make sure that that will go underneath. Okay. All right, so I take my tweezers and I get it in there, because like that. And then I spread these prongs. Now the EK Tools tweezer will stay in place where the, I'm going to have to be off camera. Where the We Are Memory Keepers tweezer, I hate to pick on them. There's probably other tweezers that will do it too. Will just fall out when I do this. Okay, so I want to hyper bend that. You can see maybe there. You can see there's a dent. So it's, instead of the prongs being flush, I squeezed them down a little bit. All right, that's just going to help with getting it glued down. We're going to take our E6000. I know it's so toxic. I hate it. And apparently the flies love it. There's probably a reason for that. We're going to put a little dollop on either side of this. And close it up. I keep my E6000 in a plastic Ziploc bag, like the snack ones. All right, so I released this so I could just move it easier. And we want that in the glue, and I prefer it going left and right as opposed to up and down, because when we start gluing this to the back, we want to have a good seal up here. So I'm going to put my tweezers back in there, and that's going to hold it into the glue as soon as I get in the right spot. There we go. It's because I let it go, and I shouldn't let it go. I'm going to pause you a second. All right, so what you want is the tweezer to be underneath the brad head there and have some lift, and that's going to dry like that. Now, I used to painstakingly wait for my E6000 to glue, but you know what? It's just going to be sandwiched between one or the other, so just add some glue. And then it's the glues can dry together, right? Yeah, okay, yeah. I used to wait overnight. Now you know why it takes me so long to craft. Because I don't always think. People are like, you should sell your stuff. I'm like, I don't know how to sell stuff. I'm not a salesperson, I'm a creator. I need a middleman. And that used to be my mom. All right, so we're gonna line these up and press them down. She was a good salesperson for me. Not certain she liked selling for me, but beat having my stuff hanging around the house, right? Oh, okay. That's okay, because it's going to be glued down. I'm going to hold on a second. All right, so I went to get some of these clamps. You can see that I'm not left and right flush, but it is what it is. And we're going to just put a couple of these on this tab here. This is the part that really needs attention, especially right up across the top where the brad is. We really want it to stick. So we are almost done. All you have to do is decorate that. And if you want to add more decorations to the front there, I'm not going to close it down because I want good adhesion right here. As a matter of fact, let's push that in more. All right, so let's move this out of the way. And I did grab some things here to decorate the front. Now, I'm not really amazing at decoration and layering and all that, but I did pick out some things, and I was thinking that I could put that one there and that one there. It can't interfere with the brad. And this one's up on foam tape, so it was going to go like that. It can go over the edge. Oh, I had this fabric, which is really pretty. It was a shirt that I love, 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 but these little fabric dots that they put on after several washes, I mean like many washes, some of the dots disintegrated. It was a well-loved shirt. I will say that. So kind of like that. And then I found this vellum bird, and it will show up on that pink. And then I took this You Are Loved, You Are So Loved, and I added the foam tape, single on one side, double on the other, because this one's got foam tape, and then it will go down there like that. I could always add a bit of this like through there, or behind the bird. I like that. And then I also brought in some robin's eggs dewdrops, and we'll see how that goes. So let's get this glued down and see what we can do. Oh, my table is like mid-thigh length. My back is killing me. So I'm gonna need some fabric tack. There is a vicious dog outside. It's quite small. All right, so putting fabric tack on fabric is going to be quite funky. So I'm just going to put some there and then put that back. All right. So I'll cap that because otherwise it'll just keep oozing. So I chose this one. And I don't know, maybe I should have some fabric tack on here to adhere it down. Okay, so you don't want anything down here. And I clearly see that I added glue here. So that's gonna have to come off. And I'm just using this to keep it flat. And then we have this little ticket that's pink and green, and I'm hoping I'm in frame. I have been watching my video playbacks and finding that I'm not in frame. So if you ever find me not in frame, give me a shout out and let me know, and I will do something to pay more attention to that. So this one has, I use the Scotch 3M tape. I think it works the best. I have used that 99-cent store or Dollar Tree store foam tape that you guys, some of you ladies use, and I have found that it warps my whatever I'm putting it on. Okay, so I can barely see the fabric underneath. Just put it like that. All right, now to cut this down. Hopefully that'll be good. Do I want it like that, or like that? Kind of like it like that. All right. It's backwards, but I don't know as if it matters too much that it's backwards. And I'm just gonna slide this kind of under there. Then we got Birdie. I'm not sure how to adhere Birdie. Okay, so we're gonna figure out where that lives. and then all right, I can put some glue. I don't know why I put it. I think that 3M tape stays down very well. It doesn't come up. So I think it's more for sliding around than for extra security. It just gives me a little bit more wiggle room, I guess you could say. I bring this down just a little bit like that. I'm not liking that, how it sticks up, so I'm going to, and if I can, I'm going to move said bird. He's stuck. I want him more over here. I want to be able to see that. And I just realized that my doily buckled up, but I kind of like that look. So I'm going to put a little bit of glue behind his eye and his beak. Hopes that that will help it, yeah. And then you can't see it very much. You can almost see this fabric that I put down there, but not really. And now we're going to explore some of these. If you don't know, when you're in watching videos, you can fast forward. There's a setting up at the top if you're on a computer, down on the bottom if you're on a cell phone, and you can fast forward and make those videos go faster, and then you can see more videos throughout the day. Yay! Little trick I found. All right, so there's a lot of yellow in here, so I'm thinking that I might want some yellow little dewdrops, kind of like too spread apart maybe. Okay, well, I'll figure out the placement of the dewdrops, and I'll let you go here. I hope that if you like any of the content within this video, that you please give it a thumbs up. Also, please leave a friendly comment in the comments below. And if you have not already, please consider subscribing and ringing that bell so you'll know when I post future videos. And if you are subscribed, thank you very much. I appreciate your crafty love. Until my next video, God bless you and yours. Bye for now.